Hey everyone. I just wanted to make another quick little update video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I wanted to get through some of the donations that we've gotten over the past handful of events and kind of talk about some of the future stuff going on with Duckpins4Ever. So I'm going to just start out with the donations. I'm going to go through these probably pretty quick. So this would cover all the donations, mostly through June, probably a little bit of May, and in through July through the last Pro Tour stop in Mount Airy. So I would like to thank Doug Sass, Lenny Anderson, who donated twice, I might add, Greg Boyle, Joe Muse, Phil Conrad, Chad Lopez, Greg Schaefer, Michael Spiegel, Gary Santora, that is Pro Tour winner Gary Santora, I might add, Linda Creason, Scott Malk, Rick Lewis, L.A. Ark, Al and Pam Z, Rob Hanley, and Rick Baker. I'd like to thank all of you once again for donating. You help improve the equipment, keep the stream running smooth. Without you, I probably wouldn't be doing this to the quality I would prefer to have it at. So, thanks again, everyone. So, now on to what the main topic of this video is going to be, and that's potential upgrades. So, I'm sitting on a decent bit of money right now regarding the donations and upgrades that I could be doing. So I wanted to kind of put that out to the crowd, see what everyone else thinks about what the next upgrade goals should be. I've kind of set it out into like 3 different areas. First is improvement to the camera. So right now the camera that we have, I believe it is a 2.5 megapixel 1080p camera. I could upgrade that. It would be an even better camera. Not to mention the fact it would give us 2 cameras to work with. We can pass this camera off over to Nick, and Nick can cover some events and I can cover others, so on and so forth. But also that would potentially allow us to cover 2 feeds on one stream. So I could have one feed of one side of the bowling alley and another feed on the other side of the bowling alley. So basically 2 windows on one stream. So you could watch 2 sides of the stream if you wanted. Now, in terms of what that would cost, a new 1080p camera that I was looking at, which would be, I believe it was 5.5 or 6 megapixel camera, so it would be significantly better than what we have now, and that would be a 1080p camera. That would run me about $600. So that's an option right there. The other option is to go even higher and would be to grab a 4K camera. The 4K camera would cost about twice as much. That would cost me well over $1,000, probably about $1,200. The advantage of the 4K camera is that A, the picture will be better, 100%. And eventually, if we do more upgrades, we could actually get the 4K feed out of it. If I do buy it, we're primarily going to be using it for 1080p and future capabilities of 4K. So we'd basically be buying into future technology we'd be using. The main reason we can't use 4K, there's actually quite a few reasons, but I'll go through some of them. First, I can't process 4K footage on my PC. I don't have the software or the hardware to do it, so I'd have to like upgrade my home PC to do that. Also, I can't stream 4K until we get 1,000 subscribers. Once we have 1,000 subscribers, a lot of things open up to us, including the capability to stream 4K. Lastly, what was the last part? Oh, free streaming software I don't think allows the streaming of 4K. I have to look into that. I would most certainly need a better streaming PC, and I probably would actually have to pay for some streaming software rather than using open source software. So those are kind of the ups and downs of that. I'm kind of leaning just getting the 4K camera because it's just going to be a better picture in general, even though we only use it for 1080p. But like I said, it's going to be a while before I have everything I need to actually do anything in 4K. The other option, because I have 3 options, so option number 2 would be upgrading the streaming equipment. So what I mean by that is essentially my streaming hardware, the mini PC that I'm using right now. That gets the job done. Anything I do right now, I can basically do off of that streaming PC. But I can get either another or another better one that could give us a handful of more features. A better one could potentially allow me to have 2 separate streams going on at once. So remember how I said before about having 2 feeds in one stream? I can actually potentially just have 2 entirely different streams going on. So if you wanted to watch one pair of lanes, you could go to one link. If you wanted to watch another pair of lanes, you could go to another link. That's an option. I don't know how interested people would be in having 2 separate streams going on at the same time. I think we're going to test it. I'll talk about that later with Southwest is Pop Witten, but there is the option just to have 2 streams going on at once off either one mini PC or 2 mini PCs, and I could run both. It's just a matter of getting commentators and such to feed both streams. Also potentially getting more hands-on people who I can teach how to run the streaming setup that we have that could run it. I would say between those 2 options that I've given, I'm leaning the better camera. I think that opens up more like immediate capabilities that people would enjoy. The third option is to just kind of take this money and start paying people. Myself, Nick, Seth, we're all doing this for free. We haven't taken a dime of anything. We're just kind of watching. We just show up and just donate our time and energy to the stream. I could potentially take some of that money and start paying myself, Nick, and Seth, and anyone else who does commentary. I can give them a little bit of a stipend, some lunch money. Wouldn't be significant, but it's I think a good precedent to set to probably start paying people eventually. I had planned on, if we get up to 100k subscribers, then that would have been the point I would have probably started paying people regularly, because then I could enable ads, and that ad money I can just give directly to people for helping me out, and that way I'd have like separate for the donations and the ad revenue. So those are the 3 options. I'm interested in what people think. At the moment, I'm leaning more towards getting the camera. It's just a matter of whether or not I should just go for the 4K or get a better 1080p camera than what we have right now. There are options. Lastly, the schedule. Let me bring that up. Boop. There we go. So here's a list of all the upcoming events through early September. I'll probably update this once the Pop Witten sets out their season schedule, so they'll have their first of the new season in September. So right now this is the events we have to go off. This weekend I will 100% be at Duel. I'll be at Duel on Sunday, so we'll be covering the Pop Witten Pro Tour at Duel. The following week is the 200 Invitational at Mount Airy. So here's a thing with that. They're short, I believe, 5 boulders right now for having that event. Well, when I say having the Sunday finals of that event. So if they have a Sunday finals for that event, I'll be there to cover that. If they don't have a Sunday finals for that event, there'll be nothing to cover. They'll just be having the qualifying rounds, and I'm going to be honest, just qualifying rounds, not having a bracket, I think isn't very entertaining to watch, so I'm not going to be streaming that. But like I said, if they have the bracket on Sunday, I'll be there for that. Then in the middle of August is the August Team Challenge. I'm going to be away on travel for like most of August, which is why there's a lot of might happen, could happen, potentially happens in August, and the August Team Challenge is one of those. I will not be able to cover that. I am going to be on travel. Same thing with Town Hall and the Women's Pro Tour that moved to Parkville. I thought about trying to cover the Women's Pro Tour that moved to Parkville, but I'm going to end up flying out that Sunday, so I can't make that. However, the August Team Challenge, I need to talk to Seth about this, see if he's interested in covering this, and we'll see if that happens. I would say right now it's probably unlikely, but if he's interested in covering it, I'll get everything set up for him, and he can go take his stuff and stream it from there. At the end of August, we have the Pop Witten Pro Tour Masters, which was moved to Southwest. Rest in peace, White Oak. I really hope you open back up, because I love bowling at White Oak. But that will be at Southwest. I should be there for that. I believe I fly back from a work trip that Thursday, so I can cover the Sunday on that and bowl for that. So we should be good for that. I'm going to talk to Seth again on this because he was interested in covering this tournament, and we might do a dual stream, kind of like what I was talking about before. There'll be two separate feeds on Sunday that cover different sides of the house. Um, just kind of as a trial run, see what people think of that. I think it would be a pretty cool idea. Lastly, the beginning of September is the men's and women's pro tour. Okay, so here's the deal. I promised myself I was going to do at least one women's pro tour stop this season. So my plan is to do the one in Mount Airy. At the same time, I need to work details to see if we can get coverage at Greenmount as well for the men's pro tour. Also, I'm going to try to bowl the men's pro tour. So if I'm bowling Sunday at the men's pro tour, I can't exactly be at the women's pro tour to cover that. So I'm gonna see what I can do to have both streams simultaneously. Again, I have to lean on Seth for some of these things because I lack people with the ability to understand a lot of the streaming stuff and what's required, what's needed, and just make sure everything is stable. So I'm gonna probably lean on Seth to see if he wants to do the Greenmount Pro Tour for the Greenmount Men's Pro Tour, while I will most likely be at the Women's Pro Tour at Mount Airy. Like I said, I promised myself I would do a stop. This is the stop I landed on because it's Mount Airy. It's in my backyard. It's easy. So I think that covers all I wanted to cover in this video. I got it at 12 minutes. Nice. Didn't mumble through everything for like 15 minutes. But again, thanks everyone for the donations. This is the current schedule. I'll probably do another one of these when we get to September and the Pop Witten puts up their schedule. Or I might wait a little bit and you guys can all just assume I'll be at all the Pop Witten stops because that's just how I've been so far. But other notes, the Baltimore Pro League. So I'm looking to just recording that weekly again, like we did at the end of last season. So look forward to that when that starts up. They usually start up like near the end of August, so that should be coming up soon. I believe we still have 3 to 4 more weeks of the Mount Airy Summer Singles League left to run. And lastly, I'm going to put this one out there to anyone who bowls in the Commercial A-League at Duel. I might ask around while I'm there on Friday and Sunday. If anyone who has a camcorder who would be interested in recording their Commercial A-League and posting that up, because I would argue that's probably the second highest level league in the Maryland area, with top obviously being the Baltimore Pro League. So we'll see what we can get on that. Just if someone's there and they have a camcorder and they want to just put it up, record it, I can put you into our shared Google Drive that I have with Nick, and you can just put it up there. It's easy for me to just process that, put very little effort into just getting it out to people as something to watch. That and Duel uses CompuScore, which I find very, very easy to read on cameras that have decent quality. Yay. Lastly, with the Pro Tour season ending in September, I'll have more opportunity to cover a few local events, so I'll probably look to be going and competing at the monthly Greenmount tournaments. So you'll probably see about 2 or 3 of those up while the Pro Tour is off season. That covers everything I had. Kept it under 15 minutes. All proud of myself for that. So I'll see you all around. Again, thanks for all the donations. Peace out.